Good evening from wherever in the world that you're tuning in from. Welcome to this evening call. It's Sunday night, 9:27 p.m. Kenyan time. And this is Lillian Okado, Miss Fierrrce. As always, I do this every Sunday evening. What I do is specifically is just looking at the markets, trying to analyze, or just have a look, conversation, see where things are gonna go, how the week might open up, what to expect in terms of, price movement, price action, and whatnot. So yeah, so today I obviously will just look at a couple of pairs, we need to know that at the end of the day, even as I'm looking at the technical bit of trading, there's also the sentiment bit, the fundamental analysis bit. So we don't leave that out when we are trading. But for this specific session, what I'm doing is just literally just looking at the technicals, nothing fancy, quick overview, quick look, quick, just ideas of, okay, where is this market looking like it's going to go? So on that end, the back of it, last week was a very, very interesting week for me as a trader, for us as a trader. For those who know, I have a channel, Fierrrce Trade House Alerts. It's a private Telegram signals group. So if you guys are interested, anybody would love to get some signals, you can subscribe to the channel. Just check this YouTube video. I'll put in the links below. In fact, this is the point where I say subscribe if you want to keep updated with any of my videos that I post on, just trading, Forex, and a lot of other things I am doing like crypto and whatnot. So back to today's focus, which is analysis of the market. And I was saying last week had an interesting week. We had Fed news, I think on Wednesday, Thursday. We had news on Tuesday, Wednesday. It was just a bit hectic. So we got caught out a couple of times. And I keep saying, wow, trading is so much fun. The adrenaline is just something, is just out of this world. And the thing is, what, like, for me these days saves me is something when I was a new trader I really did take for granted, was stop loss. Yeah. If you watch the previous video, it just shows you how we did in terms of pip count this past week, and I also talked about stop loss. Stop loss, guys, it saves the accounts. It keeps you in the game longer, for a long term, forever. If you trade with no stop loss, you're going to be stressed. So that said, we are looking at gold. I love gold. Okay. I love gold. Yeah, let's just say I love gold. I love gold. I love the indices. So I'm just going to look at the major pairs that I trade. I obviously can look at all the currency pairs. Feel free to post in the comment section if you want me to look at specific pairs next time. I will. Or if you even have questions about where a specific pair is going this week, I could. You can also join my free interaction Telegram channel. The link will be in the description of this YouTube video. So just join. I usually just drop nuggets there, and free nuggets for everybody. So that said, let's look at gold. So gold has been, like when I look at the 30-minute, okay, first, just rule number one, I always go to the daily, okay? And we can see that gold since January has been on a bear run. It's been bearish. And it's recently just got to the support zone earlier this month. Very, very strong support zone. So it bounced off the support zone. And to me right now, gold is headed up. And if you've been in my channel this past week, this is what I've been saying. Gold, if you look at the lower time frame, it's been in a serious accumulation phase. Around here, this was a major accumulation. I waited for this move, finally happened. And this is where, a couple of, pips later, not even a couple, several hundred pips later, 200 pips later, gold finally broke out of the accumulation consolidation phase. So it rallied, okay, rested a bit on this supply zone, dropped, came back to the demand zone. This is a very strong demand zone, by the way. Demand zone, supply and demand zone. Broke through, came back to, you know, the 1719 zone. I had actually thought that it would break to the downside. On Thursday, I did call a sell stop at 1724, but it didn't execute. Price just kept on moving up because I had actually predicted that it would come to the 1719, move back up, and then come down, like retest previous high, you know, up to like 729 and then come down. But that didn't happen. And yes, that sometimes just doesn't happen, you know. But this is still a good move because it just confirms that I'm still very bullish on gold. I have been bullish on gold since last week, Monday. So I'm looking at this, you know, it could be scaling a lower high here, you know, and there could be some rejection because it has just hit the supply zone, like the previous high. But I'm feeling like it should push up to the 1755. It could break up to the 1780 zone up above here. And yeah, that's where we are. So that's gold for you, okay? So yes, looking at buys, but if it doesn't, it could be it could actually retest previous low. Okay, so it could come again and retest the 1719 zone, okay, and then continue on up. But I'm still very, very bullish on gold. Yeah, so that's gold. Now let's look at something else I love to trade. Indices, okay. I think I'd looked at this earlier during the day. Actually, not earlier during the day, earlier like an hour or so ago. And very clear that, you know, US 30 has been bullish for a while. It has now retested, you know, this, look at this. Yeah. So accumulation, breakout, retest, continuation, then boom, was unable to break this support level, broke back into the accumulation zone, okay, and just started to consolidate. And this was very clear that, you know, it was actually dropping, and it hit a previous low, okay, and then retested the previous high, you know, so it's doing its thing. My anticipation with US 30 is two things. Either it'll bounce off this zone because this zone is very, 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 very strong. It's tried to break through a couple of times. So it could just reject this, you know, and continue on its way up. That's number one. But if it breaks through, just know that it's going to drop a couple hundred pips, 300, maybe even 500 pips before it stops, you know. Yeah, so yeah, so US 30, look for possible, you know, break of this trend line, okay, this zone. But look at an entry at about 32,493 for a sell, but you only jump in once it has retested this previous high. If not, it'll just continue on its way up. But we'll definitely have a look at this. We can make a final decision right now. I mean, we usually trade the New York session on Mondays. So that's what we'll see how the market will be by then. Then we have Euro USD, which is the most popularly traded pair in the world, okay, in the market. Again, strong zone. I mean, all these pairs are like all on their support levels right now. Many of these pairs, including GBP pairs. So you can see broke through, it's been trending down, okay. In early this month, reached the low, you know, retested, you know, did its thing, broke through, you know, so it's just been up, down here. My take is, if I look at the daily, because I think it's a good thing to look at the daily. Very possible that this pair is going to break through to the downside. Okay, highly likely. That's how it's looking. That's how it's looking. But I would only be able to make this call. We have like a couple of pips when you market open, maybe 24 pips. So we look at what happens when after about 20 to 30 pips, and then we can probably make a decision. But this is consolidation. So chances are it'll just continue up. But high probability long term is that it just goes bam down. Okay. So that's Euro USD. So that said, that's Euro USD. Then we have Euro GBP. Let's just look at Euro GBP. Euro GBP, as you can see, guys, same drill, same drill, same drill, same drill. Being on a down trend and likely to push below. Okay, but it's just been retesting. It's just been retesting this area here, as you can see. It didn't break. Okay, so this is a very strong, and it retested the previous high. I don't know if you can see this clearly on the daily. Okay, so this looks like it's just retesting this high, and then it wants to continue down. That's my take. Yeah, so I would just look like chill on this though. I wouldn't be like in a rush to like call this trade and jump into it. But I'm biased for a sell on Euro GBP, but this is a very strong support zone. So it could just come reject and then bounce off and keep going on its way up, merry way up. We then have, let's look at Euro NZD. Euro NZD is like consolidating proper on the 30-minute daily. I think it's still on its downtrend. I mean, look, all these things look the same. So still trying to find its way. I mean, let's just say if Euro USD breaks the 1.65050, it's just going down, down, down. Probably get to the 1.59812 area. Okay. The question is usually, when will it drop? For now, pretty much still in consolidation. I feel like this is going to go up because it came down, bounced off this zone. So let's just mark the zone I'm talking about so that you can see it a bit clearly. Okay. And I feel like it's going to just continue on its way up. It's already retested a previous low here. Okay, so it bounced off, retested previous high, you know, it retested a previous low, and now I just want it to go pop up. So this should be maybe about, you know, let's say 100 pips, you know, trade idea, thereabouts. Yeah. So Euro NZD biased for a buy, unless something happens when the market opens. But although it's been scaling lower highs and lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, this candle is very bearish. However, there's rejection. Yeah, there's rejection. So, but the fact that it keeps retesting means that this is a key level, that it's, if it breaks this key level, yes, we will get another 100 pips on its way down. But for now, I'm still biased for the high. So that's that. Let me look at AUD, USD. I like looking at AU pairs because they tend to correlate with indices. So technically, they kind of inform me like, okay, what's gonna happen. So same thing, like I said, all these currencies are on their support zones. Really, chances of this continuing on its way up are pretty high. Yep, as you can see here. So even on the daily, it's now in a support zone. So I'm looking at it just continuing on its way up. AUD, JPY. Okay, but AUD, JPY is looking quite interesting. Let's see. It's also in a support zone, but looking more precarious than, you know, looking a bit more precarious than AUD, USD. So likely might push down to the previous support. But how many pips could that be really? 125. And I'm saying that because there's a major rejection on this daily candle. You know, there's a major rejection. So the past trades that went beautifully. So like trading is very simple, but I think what takes out many traders, including myself, sometimes is we kind of second guess ourselves a lot, and we get attached to trades. And yeah, so if you look at this again, this was a bit of an accumulation phase, broke out, went up, retested, broke out, now proper, retested. So it's here. So it's touched this zone a couple of times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is really key. All I can say is if it breaks through, we're going down, like really pop up. But I'm looking at, you know, I'd wait and see. So what I'll do to just maybe let's look at the 4-hour. Yeah, it's really settled nicely on this zone. So yeah, so chances are it will reject this area. So what I want to do is maybe just mark it up a bit differently. Another 30 minutes. Just my marker would be if it drops, if it breaks this zone, if it breaks the 83.996, then we can jump in for a sell. That's just basically it. Feel free to refer to this call later on. See if this actually pans out. It'd be really cool if it does. But again, very strong zone, very strong support, supply, demand zone. So it could just, it looks like it's an upward trend, continuation of the upward trend right there. Yeah. So if I'm entering for a buy on AJ, I wouldn't enter right here because it could just continue consolidating. I don't want to, because the consolidation, like 29 pips, I mean, unless I'm scalping really, but it would be tight because, you know, you have to consider the broker spread. So of course some pips are eaten there. Your entry, you know. So I like to trade breakouts. I'm sure most of you know that. I don't trade consolidation at all. So let's look at GBP USD, one of my favorite pairs to trade. Again, consolidated for quite a while, but scaling lower highs. So it looks like it wants to keep pushing lower and lower. Okay. So this push down is very possible. But again, I just feel like we're still in this consolidation zone. So until we break out completely up here, okay, and break out down here, I'm just gonna watch it. I'm just gonna watch it. I mean, there are a couple of pips in there, but I'll wait, I'll just wait because this is a nice consecutive candle thing going on here. But I feel like this is a wait and see. This is a wait and see. GBP, JPY. So very strong support. I feel like just continue up, like still not yet ready to push down, to be honest. I don't think it's ready to push down yet. Yeah. I feel like it's already retested, come back to previous, support zones, and will just continue on its way up. Euro AUD, sometimes really, really dicey pair, but yeah, so Euro AUD, you can see both ways we made money last week. Let's look at the daily. So Euro AUD has just been doing what all Euro pairs have been up to, just scaling lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, lower lows, just lower lows. That's it, that's it, that's it, that's it. Okay, very strong support zone. Yeah, it hasn't broken through here. It's such a long time, since 2017. Wow. Yeah, so chances of it breaking through, meh, and if it does, then we're really, really going to see a very long, long, long drop, long drop. So I'm here with my daughter, who is being my extra voice. So if you hear anything in the background, just know it's my baby, who is totally excited about her coding classes that, tomorrow. I don't even think she'll sleep today. But yeah, so she's been wanting to do some coding. Like, you know what? You do the coding, I do the trading, we tag team, you create apps for me. I mean, how great could that work out? So Euro AUD, there's a possibility that it has room to just drop to this, this is like a wedge here that has formed. Let me just mark it up a bit more. Sorry, my chart could be messy, but just don't mind me. I like to leave my lines there because I don't have to do so much work when I'm analyzing again. So this could very well just break through and boom, just go down. About 80 pips there, yeah. If not, I would wait. I wouldn't just jump into a buy like right now, because really scaling lower highs. So it probably retests this 1.54014. Yeah. And then this would be my decision point, because I'd be like, okay, is this thing gonna break, or it's just retesting and boom? That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this because it went up, retested. So I'm hoping it retests again and then go. So it's kind of looking like an upside down. Is it head and shoulder, or is it head and shoulder? A shoulder, yeah, an upside down, kind of looking like an upside down head and shoulder. Yeah, so hence retest previous high, then boom, come down. So yeah, there's a lot of selling pressure on the Euro and GBP pairs generally, but we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So I think that's it for today, guys. That's it for this evening session. I don't really want to spend time, but if you want some in-depth, just learning about how I mark up my chart step by step, you're free to join my advanced traders course. I do have a beginners course for beginners, from scratch as well. So just holla, hit me up. I will teach you what I learned in the last couple of years and, help you avoid the mistakes I made, just blowing account after account. I keep on telling people, you do not have to learn from experience. You can learn from the people who already have the experience of losing money in the market. So yeah, so that's it for this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have any specific questions, if you want me to look at any specific pair, please, by all means, write me in the comments section. Subscribe to my channel, my free interaction group. Come in there, links in the channel. Then, let's get talking, let's get to know each other, let's share ideas. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, and have a happy trading week ahead. Thank you.